Welcome to Atomic Cricket Podcast. On this podcast episode, we will be previewing the World Test Championship final. So, for 144 years, a Test Championship wasn't even crowned. So for the first time ever in cricket history, there is this World Test Championship final. India have been qualified along with New Zealand. So, two great sides, New Zealand and an underrated team, and then India, a strong team, dominant team. So I'm joined with my co-host, Vijay Lokapally, rather I would say host. And then I have a guest from Stride Ride Cricket Podcast, Manohar. So very good to have you both here. Hope you're staying safe.
Welcome, Manohar. Welcome to our podcast because normally you would be asking the question. Now, today I'm going to grill you and I'll also be part of it. And of course, Chiru will be there. What do you think? I mean, do you think it truly reflects the world test supremacy when you say India and New Zealand are playing the World Test Championship final? Do you think it is the two best teams are playing the final?
Yes, I would love to believe that we are the two best sides. Of course, in different circumstances, without COVID, we may have some of those series not getting cancelled and they would have been played, and we would truly get a reflection of who is great out there. And I mean, if you see by a very minute margin, Australia actually got left out, right? And I think 4 demerit points were also responsible due to slow over rate. Otherwise, who knows, Australia would have been in the final. But again, if ifs and buts could be taken care, we won't have anything. So I would believe that New Zealand have been very consistent. So have India, and I think the two best playing nations. And New Zealand just proved yesterday that they are superior than even England. So in England, so they have done well.
Yeah, I think I have a feeling New Zealand is always underrated. Even in one days. I mean, if you see, they are a very competitive team and probably one of the most consistent teams in the world in whichever format you see. And why they are underrated is a mystery because they've always had world-class bowlers and world-class batsmen. And New Zealand has always been a terrific fielding side right through their history. But Chiru, I mean, if you have to follow this game, are you going to back India because you live in India, or you will back New Zealand because New Zealand is a good test team?
Yeah, I would back India because they are the dominant team that I believe, because we have seen right from the start when they went to West Indies and then home series in South Africa, and then they won everything, then they lost to New Zealand to two tests, whole test series. Then they come to Australia. Before that there was a break, so the points were going to shift. It's going to be a percentage wise, and then when they went to Australia, what an humiliation for us it was. 36 all out, and then they come back, Ajinkya Rahane, and then they lead it. What a history was it. And then they come to England, they lose the first test, and they in the other test. So it have been dominant, and I think after doing all these efforts, all the GABA heroes, I don't think that should go waste, right? If they're such a team, they put so much efforts, like a lot of players come in to the test team in that Australia series. So I think their efforts shouldn't go waste, and India should take that little advantage to win this. Motivated, a lot of youngsters are motivated, and at the same time, there are veteran players who are really good. Ajinkya Rahane, Kohli, then you have Pujara, so and our bowling attack. So I think should be a comfortable victory for us. Again, not to, as you said, underrated. New Zealand are very underrated. 2015 World Cup final they came, 2019 World Cup final they came. Like they are, really dominant team. What makes them very consistent is because their captain himself is very consistent, Ken Williamson. So yeah, I would back India, but again, not underestimate New Zealand.
Manohar, if you go by what Chiru is saying, India is the only team which is playing consistent cricket. He is talking of doing well in Australia, then he is talking of doing well in India. But what about New Zealand? they have won a very good test match against England. They have done well at home against Pakistan, and they are a very, very competitive side. So why is Chiru not giving much, what should I say, much importance to New Zealand? He is only backing India.
maybe it's the patriotism that is making him do so. But again, if you have to match both sides, both have good, strong, batting core. We have just seen, someone like Will Young, who may not feature in the final, score very, very good runs, right? So even of course, we can't even talk enough about the bowling attack. Both have really good battery of fast bowlers. Maybe India has one advantage, which is the one ace up our sleeve would be Ravi Ashwin. If the track spins, maybe he will be doing better than, let's say, the New Zealand counterpart, whoever that is. But other than that, fast bowling wise, I would say, they're matching to matching. I mean, as I said, whichever team makes the best use of those conditions that are given to them on that day, it will be a match of attrition and not a match of talent, or for the lack of talent, right? There is enough talent in both the teams. So it's going to be an amazing contest, and I'm hoping that by even the slimmest of margins, I know it will be cruel for New Zealand to lose, having lost the last two World Cups finals. So, but yeah, I mean, as an Indian, I would pray for Indian victory. Yeah.
I agree, Manohar. Sorry. Go ahead. Yes, Chiru.
Yeah, you can talk, sir. You can go on. No problem.
No, I was saying that Manohar is absolutely right when he talks of the two bowling attacks. New Zealanders are more tuned to bowling on such pitches and in such conditions because they're very familiar to what they get back home. But I'm sure for a long, long time, India has not had such a rich bowling attack where they're struggling to exclude somebody and not include somebody, because who do you ask to sit out? I mean, if you tell Bumrah to sit out, or Ishant or Shami, and you look at Mohammad Siraj, he's in such splendid form, or Shardul Thakur, who again is he's a versatile bowler, if you ask me. And then
Umesh Yadav.
Umesh Yadav. And then
Umesh Yadav.
Umesh Yadav is there, of course. I mean, Umesh has been part of this test team for a long, long time. But then what about Jadeja and Ashwin? They have always delivered. They both can bat also. So they add depth to the batting, because both have test hundreds. And I think this is probably the finest Indian test team for a long, long time. I won't say the best, because that, again, it is not fair to compare different eras. But this is one of the finest, and they would do well if they can do something like what the 1986 team did, when Kapil Dev led the team and the series was 1-2-0. India completely dominated the series with Vengsarkar and Chetan Sharma doing exceptionally well. Sachin was there, and of course, Azharuddin was there. So it is the best time for Virat Kohli to have a world title under his belt, because he has not won any ICC crown. And also they always say he has to win an IPL crown also, which he will in due course. But Manohar, if you have to pick two batsmen from New Zealand, who would you think will be a good catch?
I will definitely go with Kane Williamson, as Chiru has already said. He's consistent, right? And it's not just like when you look at a batsman, you not just look at the numbers, averages, etc., but how he has performed across various locations against various attacks. So obviously Kane Williamson, and of course recently Tom Latham has also stepped up, and Devon Conway. What an innings! What a test series! I think this is the first time any New Zealander has won a player of the series on debut. I mean, I was surprised to know that fact, right? So between the three of them, I would still pick Tom Latham, because he's a more senior guy, and you expect seniority and experience to come up in the test match, especially in a final. So Kane Williamson and Latham.
I'm so happy, Manohar, you booked Latham because he's again a very underrated batsman. And so, Chiru, who are your two batsmen from the Indian team?
Indian team, okay. I would pick Pujara because Pujara has a lot of experience when he played last time county cricket 2019, and that he has also an 100 in Southampton last time when India taught England. I think he's one player, as I said in cricket wrap up last episode, that I've been admiring him, and I think yeah, Cheteshwar Pujara can. I think he's one player to look out for. And if you ask me another batsman, I'm thinking of Rohit Sharma or because Rohit Sharma, yes, he hasn't played any test match in England, and I'm not sure, but I think yes, it will be a challenge for him. The swing and all those things you want to tell, you can tell. But again, he has played really good series in India, then at Australia. So I think Rohit Sharma will be good. Rohit Sharma and Cheteshwar Pujara is my two batsmen that you need to look for India.
I will have to disagree for the sake of disagreeing. I will say I will add Kane Williamson and I will put Ross Taylor because Ross Taylor brings amazing experience to the middle order and he can really take the game away from you. So I picked Ross Taylor because you haven't picked. So it doesn't mean that your choices are not good. I have to be different. So that's why I picked Ross Taylor and Kane Williamson. And for India, again, I will pick two batsmen whom you have not picked. One is Virat Kohli, because he is, this is a very critical series for him, for his captaincy, and the fact that if he leads by example, he can win the game for India. And also Rishabh Pant, because Rishabh Pant has been in amazing form. He's one batsman for the future, and he will look to leave a big stamp on this game and the series. So Virat Kohli, Rishabh Pant, Kane Williamson, and Ross Taylor. So this is one. And let us pick Manohar. Let me ask Chiru first. Chiru, one bowler who will make the difference from New Zealand and India.
So you want me to pick from both?
Yes, one bowler each, only one. One from New Zealand, one from India.
Yeah, one bowler from New Zealand. I will take Tim Southee because he's been excellent, leading wicket taker for New Zealand in this World Test Championship series, and also he has a really good record versus Virat Kohli. He has dismissed him 10 times. So we'll talk about this matchups a little later after this, but just for information, that just picked up Virat Kohli 10 times in international cricket, most by any bowler. And also when India taught New Zealand last time in 2019 or 2020, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I think 2020, January, February, that time. He was the leading wicket taker in that series. So Tim Southee from New Zealand. And if you ask me from India, I'm wondering because there are a lot of options. Yes, there are a lot of options from New Zealand, but the pick was easy for me. But from India, I think maybe Ishan Sharma or someone just with Bumrah. But I think I'll go with Ishan Sharma because he has done previously very good in England. That's what I saw here stats in this stats. So I think Ishan Sharma from India and Tim Southee was for New Zealand.
Manohar, Chiru has obviously done his homework very well. So now the ball is in your court. Pick your best one New Zealand bowler to watch and one Indian bowler to watch.
Yeah, so I would go with Neil Wagner. I may not be having the majority opinion here, but from whatever I have seen, he has caused troubles not only against our Indian batting lineup, not all of whom play the short ball well, but also against someone like Steve Smith. He has troubled Steve Smith with the short ball, and Steve Smith, we all know, can play long test match innings. So I would go with Neil Wagner. He may not get the most wickets, but his performance will help the rest of the bowlers pick wickets, right? So that's what I would pick. If you ask about one bowler across both teams, I'm looking forward to. I would say again, not as an Indian fan, but I know for sure that they will come hard at us. Yeah.
And you have to pick an Indian bowler.
Indian bowler, it's difficult because we have so many, battery of bowlers. But I'm believing that Ishant, Bumrah, and Shami will play as the three fast bowlers. That is my opinion. And among them, of course, I will go with Bumrah.
Very good, very good. So again, I have the advantage of speaking the last, so I can pick a bowler whom you have not picked. So I will pick Trent Bolt for the simple reason that he is a left armer and he has troubled Indians in the past, and he has a very sharp bowler's mind because he reads the batsman very quickly, and he doesn't get flustered if he's hit. So that's a sign of a good bowler. And yeah, when it comes to India, I think you are absolutely right. Who do we pick? One bowler. So let me pick Siraj if he gets to play. If Siraj is playing, I expect him to do well, not just the World Test Championship, but the entire series, because he's the kind of bowler who, if you see, he's a match winner. He is a wicket. He looks to take wickets. You know, if Siraj is going to bowl a good spell, long spell, he's bound to give you a wicket or two. So my favorite bowler is Siraj. I don't know. You're absolutely right. They may play Shami ahead of him, and but Siraj, if he gets an opportunity, and then there is Shardul Thakur also. But I don't know if he'll find a place in the World Test Championship. But my bowler would be Siraj. So, but I compliment you for your choices because you have done your homework very well. Obviously, you follow New Zealand cricket also very closely, so which is a good thing. You're not just Indian cricket fans. So yes, Chiru, if you want to ask something.
Yeah, we'll get into matchups, right? So this was this. So I picked up a lot of them, but I'm not going to include all of them. So it's the main batsman or the highly ranked batsman that I put here. So the first one obviously needs to be Team Saudi versus Virat Kohli. So as I said, he has dismissed Virat Kohli 10 times in international cricket. And when it comes to test matches, he's picked up Virat Kohli 3 times in 5 innings, and also has Neil Wagner and also Trent Bolt. All of them are picked Virat Kohli 3 times in test matches. So Virat Kohli will definitely have a challenge on him. Last time when he toured England in 2018, he hit a century and he was really good in form. So now it's a challenge for him in England, but a different opponent and a crucial final for him. So just wanted to ask you about how do you feel about this? Virat Kohli has a lot of challenge, right?
Yes, Manohar, you were saying something. You wanted to say something.
No, sir, I was just trying to quote from the Art of War, which is you not only have to know your own team, but also the opposition team as well. Only then you are assured of victory. So, yeah, thank you.
Correct. And would you like to take on Chiru's matchup challenge?
Yeah, sure. So it's a good, interesting because, Tim Southee is a swing bowler, right? And Virat has been troubled with swing, especially in England, mostly in 2014 Test series where he just could not score any runs. And I think it was a wake-up call for him, if I remember that correctly. 2018, he did much well. But I would go with Tim Southee on that one, that he will trouble Virat, and Virat will have, and again, we have to be cognizant of the fact that though Virat has been playing well, but it's just that a century scoring, playing really long innings, especially in test matches, hasn't happened for him, I think, over a year or I think more than 2 years. We've lost track, right? So the last time he scored a century was way back, like 2019, if I'm not wrong. So I would go with Tim Southee on that one.
Tim Southee, yeah, because my matchup will be different. I would say Pujara against all New Zealand bowlers. Because Pujara will be the man to dislodge. If he stays there, he blocks one end and he gives confidence to the other fellow. Because the way once Pujara settles down, he makes batting look easy because you will see most of the deliveries he will meet with the middle of the bat. So to me, matchup of more than Kohli versus Tim Southee would be, I would say, Pujara versus any of these New Zealand bowlers. Because if you get Pujara early, you put India under pressure.
So let's dig into Kane Williamson. So he's a number one threat to India. We believe, the rest of the world believes. So Kane Williamson, I found out the stats that he has a poor record versus Ravichandran and Ashwin. So Williamson is the number one test batsman currently ranked, and he's a modern day great. But when it comes to India, is an average of only 36. So that's his lowest, you know, test average versus any opposition. And also when he comes to Ashwin, is an average. He has an average of 29. Sorry, so he has an average of 29. So the average keeps decreasing, and Ravichandran Ashwin has got him out so many times. I haven't written out how many times he has taken his wicket, but I forgot to write, I think so. But what I read is Ashwin has a real good record versus Kane Williamson. And yes, he's a number one threat. And I feel so relieved. I feel so happy that there is some player to block him or stop him. But at the same time, we don't know whether Ravichandran Ashwin will play because the conditions favoring. I don't know what they do if they're going to take 5 weeks, leave out Ashwin or leave out Jadeja. Something is going to happen. We are not sure. So, what's your take on this?
Ashwin, yes, I agree with you. Ashwin can trouble Kane Williamson, but please remember this is a different new match in new conditions. How many times would Ashwin have bowled to Williamson in England? If he would have bowled to him in New Zealand or maybe in India, it's very different from what he will have to try and adapt to English pitches. So it can be an interesting battle. And I expect Williamson to come good for the simple reason that for him also it's a very critical phase of his career. He's batting well. We know how last year, if you remember, against Pakistan, he was so exceptional batting, and then he was so good at home in the two series. And I have a personal liking because I think he is a complete test batsman. That's how test batsman should be when you watch Kane Williamson. So I won't say Ashwin will have an upper hand just because he has got him out in the past, but this is a different pitch, different stage, and I don't expect Kane Williamson to give away his wicket so easily. That's what I feel. Yes, Manohar, you can have your view, please.
No, sir, I just wanted to ask you, what should be the ideal, or if you were to choose this team, the Indian team that is, would you, I mean, obviously, just we need to have a spinner, so you'll go with Ashwin, right? But, you can come up with the ideal lineup. Should you take Shardul Thakur as the fourth seamer who also gives you a batting option, or will you go with someone like a Jadeja, whose batting skills are much better than Shardul Thakur, and we never know. I mean, if the pitch aids spin, Jadeja can be a handful on that. So, what are the bowling options that if you were to choose on the day of the Test match?
On the day of the Test match, if you see Manohar, I will pick these two, Ashwin and Jadeja. I want them to play, and because they bring in a lot of options. And like you said already, Jadeja as a batsman, Ashwin also as a batsman, and Ashwin has the capacity to run through the opposition. So if he is bowling well that day, opposition will have no clue on how to face Ashwin because he's a very intelligent bowler. I mean, look at his career, how he has developed and how confidently he has performed against teams. Yes, his record may not be very impressive overseas compared to India. Only when you compare it to his performance at home. Otherwise, he's been a consistently good bowler, and you will have to back him. But and then three seamers. You'll have to have Ishant Sharma. You should have. You can have Siraj and Shardul. Manohar, because he's a versatile bowler.
Are you missing out Bumrah? Sir, are you missing out Bumrah? At the same time, are you missing out Bumrah and you want Shardul Thakur to come in?
No, I'm talking about Shardul Thakur's qualities, right? Bumrah will be your first choice. And then whether you want Ishant Sharma also or you want to preserve him for the Test series also, because that is also going to be very, very important. 5 Test matches. You will have to have fresh bowlers, fresh legs. So here, Bumrah, Ishant and Siraj. Because Shardul may lose out to Siraj because Siraj has been bowling well. So I have a feeling Virat may back Siraj over Shardul Thakur. And then batting, I think Manohar is as good as sorted out. I mean, you'll have Gill and Rohit Sharma. Then you have Pujara, Virat, Rahane, and Rishabh Pant. So this probably could be your batting lineup. It is the bowling which is going to be a very taxing decision to make. But we have given our bowlers. Let us see how are we close to what the Indian team management thinks, or we are different.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you for that. Yeah.
So let's pick up our as Vijay Lokapally picked up his 11. So if I ask you, Manohar, brother, like if you want to pick up your 11, like do you see any changes other than what Vijay sir told, or do you want to go with the same 11?
I would go with so as I said, the batting is sorted. Gill, Rohit Sharma, Pujara, and Kohli and Pant and Rahane and Pant in that order. Ashwin definitely goes in, right? And Bumrah, and I would go with Ishant Sharma. And I said if the battle would be there, it would be between Shami and Siraj, and not between Ishant and Siraj. That's my opinion, right? And if Shami is fit, and I'm yet to watch the match that between the team that they have played and how Shami has bowled. But if he's fit and if he's bowling as well as he in the nets as he does normally, I would rate him just because of the fact that he bowls at a slightly higher pace when compared to Siraj. Again, that's my belief, and that small difference of 5 or 10 kilometers additionally would be the difference when it comes, additionally adding to the swing that Shami brings in. So I would go with Ishant, Bumrah, and Shami and Ashwin. And even if Jadeja does not get to bowl on that pitch, I would purely take him as a batsman. We all know how, imagine if we are like, I don't know, we need a quick declaration, and imagine Pant and Jadeja going hammer and tongs at the bowling, and set up a huge lead so that our bowlers have enough time to bowl out the opposition. I mean, that's just one of the dreams that you wake up one day and as a captain you want that to happen. So even if Jadeja does not get to bowl, I would still take him as a pure batsman. But of course, Jadeja brings in his all-round skills, good catching, good field, ground fielding, as well as, of course, he can always be that fifth bowler. So that is my 11.
Yeah, interesting that you got in Jadeja that if any declaration is there, I can go and hammer. The same way how Rishabh Pant did. Interesting that you brought out that. I wanted to say it, but yes, you said it. Yes, Jadeja, how many times do we remember? Versus South Africa, he goes and hammers a quick 50, comes back. Yeah, Jadeja is one option. Maybe even if you ask me about his bowling too, like even if conditions do not favor him, he's one man who can come out of the conditions and put it out and get some wickets. So Jadeja, yeah, thank God you said it. So let's talk about New Zealand, right? So interesting that we haven't even talked about this man, Kyle Jamieson. What a threat he was to India when we played in New Zealand. So Kyle Jamieson, a tall bowler, can take quick wickets. And I saw a news article from ESPN Cricket Info just 2 hours ago that the pitch curator said that the pitch will offer more swing and more bounce. So Kyle Jamieson is known for his bounce, right? He's a tall bowler, bowls short balls, and at the same time, Neil Wagner is there. So, talk me on Kyle Jamieson, both of you. Can you talk about Kyle Jamieson? How much threat could it be to India?
Jamieson will definitely be a threat. He's been a frontline bowler for New Zealand, but he has always bowled well in New Zealand. So here, if he finds the conditions helpful, and as you said, the curator has already announced there will be a lot of carry, bounce, true bounce. If it is true bounce, then Jamieson, Wagner, and Trent Bolt. That will be a very menacing attack. And you'll have to definitely watch out against Jamieson. Like you said, tall, very awkward bounce. And when the bounce gets steep, batting becomes very difficult. So I think this trio could be a very lethal pair for New Zealand, and if they get 300 on the board, I think this their bowling attack could pose a huge problem for India.
And now let's talk about Devon Conway. So you both introduced him before, but he just comes out here, plays versus England, 200 on debuts, and continuous forms, gets a 50. So Devon Conway he makes an additional, like he comes in as an not as an additional, but just before that final, he proves here and is going to come in. I'm sure, 100% sure that he makes into the team. So the opening is so strong. Tom Latham, then you have Devon Conway at 3, Williamson at 4, Ross Taylor. So there's a lot of good, top order. Not that India doesn't have very good top order, but New Zealand, they are known for consistency. Ross Taylor is very good, and Kane Williamson, as I said before, previously. And then at the end, like how we have Ashwin, Rishabh Pant, that, middle order or the later middle order, they have Kai Jamieson. He has hit a 50 in one test match. So they have all rounders who can hammer India. But how do you take it? This is a very good batting team. This is a very good bowling team. So it's no, we can just say that these two are the best teams to compete in a final.
Yes, Manohar, go ahead.
It's a difficult choice to make at this point, as I mentioned earlier as well. Right, both teams look really good on paper. One added advantage that New Zealand has is they have played 2 test matches prior to this, and India only had a match practice. Net practice at best, right? And that's going to be always an advantage for New Zealand. And given the fact that Indians don't start on a tour really well, we lost the Adelaide Test match, even in the previous tours to South Africa, England, we always lose the first Test match, right? So, and we take time to get into the groove, right? That is my only worry going into this Test match is Indians do not have the right kind of match practice. People like Jeff Boycott and others, I've listened to them. They always do not go into a test match as if that's your first match on the tour, right? First major match. You always play 2-3 matches before at least. And I think Indians did that in Australia. And even then they lost the Adelaide Test, right? So that's my only worry. Otherwise, on paper, both teams are really good.
I think very interesting that you brought it. I agree with you, but I feel India is stronger for the simple reason that it has man to man. It looks stronger than New Zealand, but it's Test cricket. One session can change the whole game, and one spell, maybe a 2-wicket spell, even a 2-wicket spell can change the course of the game. So yes, you can't take New Zealand easy at all. If you do it, it will be at your peril. But I want India to exert its supremacy for which it is known and make use of the awesome talent it has today in every department. So for me, India should start the favorites.
Okay, now let's talk about the desperation of both these sides, desperation to win an ICC trophy. So for New Zealand, they lost the 2015 World Cup final, One Day Cup, and they lost the 2019 by a super over. And then India, they have not won an ICC trophy from 2013. So 2014, I remember seeing World T20 Cup versus Sri Lanka final, and we lost. Then 2015 One Day Cup semi-final, and then 2016 World T20 Cup semi-final. 2017 Champions Trophy, then 2019 this One Day International, One Day Cup semi-finals. We lost everything, and it was the same opponent, New Zealand, right? So is India going to take revenge on them? Both these sides are in for a desperation. So they do want to win this ICC World Test Championship final. It's for the very first time, and both these sides are fired up. Both these sides want to win. So what is your take? If I were to ask you, if you do justice, to these teams, whom do you choose? Will you choose New Zealand, who have lost 2 finals, or will you choose India, who have lost a lot of trophies?
Chiru, I don't think they're desperate. I think they are driven by ambition to win the title, because whatever happened is in the past. So you can't carry that baggage to the test match. You may have lost the World Cup final because that was one day cricket. This is not one day. This is a completely different platform. It will test all your skills, your resilience, your endurance to stay 5 days of a fight. And then, as Mr. Sunil Gavaskar always says, it will be a test of your temperament. So I think temperament Indians are better suited. Again, I mean, at the cost of repeating myself, I would say India start the favorites. But if New Zealand go on to win, nobody should grudge them because they are an equally good side.
Yeah, I think I more or less have the same thoughts as Vijay sir here. You should not think too much into the past. And if I were Ravi Shastri or Virat Kohli, this is what I would tell the team. Guys, we started this World Test Championship on a really good note. We have, defeated a lot of sides, including Australia, in Australia at Gabba. And we deserve to be the finalists here. And we have the talent and we have the means to, that cup. And let's not, and again, thinking too much about the past or thinking too much on that day, I think, is never a great thing. So I would definitely tell the guys to just focus on this one match. Again, test match is always played session by session. As sir rightly said, the entire Adelaide test turned on its head in that one crucial 1 or 2 hours of play, right? We went from, we were actually in a lead and we got out for 36 all out, right? So not think too much about too many things. And, we have players who can take the initiative and run away with the test match, whether it's bowlers or batsmen. It's just that we have to place ourselves into that phase of the test match, innings by innings. So I think focus should be more on that day and not of the previous whatever has happened.
Yeah, very good to see both of you talking so positively about this point. Anytime we need something, I'll definitely call you both for this. Okay, let's wrap up this show. Let's talk about if I ask one word, don't talk stats, don't talk anything. If I ask you one word, who will win it?
One
word. So don't tell any stats. Just say one word: India or New Zealand.
Oh, I mean, I have to just take one name.
Yes, that's what I meant.
India.
Manohar.
It's the same. India. India is going to win. Yeah.
Yes, for me as well, India. So it's dominated. This panel is dominated by India majority support, but that's not going to be there in England, New Zealand. Yes, there will be a lot of supporters from India, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting. This test match for the first time ever, World Test Championship final. I'm going to sit, without a break. I'm going to sit whole 5 days. I'm going to watch it. And I'm sure you two will watch it. I'm fired up. I'm excited. I'm great. I'm geared up. Let's see what happens. This is our preview for the World Test Championship final. Thank you, Vijay sir, and thank you, Manohar from Stride Drive Cricket Podcast for coming. Please do check out Stride Drive on all podcast platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, wherever you listen to podcasts on, and as well as follow them on Twitter, Instagram, and wherever they are. So thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Chiru, and thank you so much, Vijay sir, for having me today. It's a privilege and pleasure to be talking with fellow podcasters and sir, of course. I'm really excited. On behalf of the entire Straight Drive team, I would like to thank you for having us here today, and hopefully we can have you guys also sometime on our podcast.
I'm also very delighted, and would it be the first time that two different podcast experts have come together? This kind of a collaboration where you have Straight Drive and
we did that with a couple of other fellows. We do that with Adjacent Sledgers and others, but with Atom Big, it is the first time.
Very nice, and I'm very happy and very impressed with your reading, the way you keep in touch with the game. You are very well informed, both of you, different age groups. I'm the eldest. then probably Manohar and this young man makes me nervous at times, with this question. So I think I've passed this test in this podcast, definitely. But it will be great to catch up again. Yeah.
Akash, you can stop recording.